Driving it home with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing asses says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for our drive home today. And thank you to our fill-in host. Our guest host yesterday was Ken Mejia Beal, who was joined by Demi Palachuk, candidate for Illinois House of Representatives. So we wish her the very best of luck and great job, Ken. Ken has left for vacation. So I will, we spoke a little bit. We texted each other a little bit today before he took off. And very excited for him to have a little bit of a break. Hey, coming up in this hour, I want to let folks know that we have prize to give away. And I want you guys to be ready for this because it's going to be the 2026 McHenry County Fair returning to Woodstock from August 4th through August 9th. You can even see me. I'm Patti Vasquez, in case you're wondering. On Friday, August 7th, as we're driving it home to the McHenry County Fair, there's something for everyone. Games, rides, music, rodeo, and all the great food. You don't have to take my word for it. Come see it, as WCPT is giving away a 3-pack for a single day free admission passes to the 2026 McHenry County Fair. Just want to let you know we'll do that before the 5:30 break. I think maybe during the break I'll think of a trivia question. We'll think about it. Just want to remind everybody, contests running on WCPT are open to listeners 18 and older and residents of the Greater Chicagoland, Northwest Indiana area. Only one entry per person, one winner per household. Void where prohibited by law. Listeners may only win or qualify to win once every 30 days. Complete rules are available on our website at WCPT820.com by clicking the contest tab. I almost got that done in one breath. Hi, Dr. Kathy Tynas. How are you doing?
How are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you, my friend. Good. Welcome back.
Always great to be here.
And our friend, Dr. Tynas, is a internist. I know I've had this before. Yes. And she is the director of education at Alivio Medical Center. And we encourage everyone to visit Alivio's website because they serve everyone in the community regardless of your ability to pay. How are things? I hate asking how things are going. Are you staying hydrated, my friend?
Oh, I'm trying. The ride here was like driving around in a sauna. It was really fun.
Well, I should ask because I feel like with the smoke that came through Chicago 2 weeks ago, I'm feeling under the weather, and then I don't know what's heat, I don't know what's residue from the smoke having been in the city. What are you seeing from folks coming into your office?
Or allergies?
That's what I feel like. I feel like because I'm not like dripping or like I don't have like a post nasal drip, but it feels like it.
Yeah. I think. Everyone's confused. You get a sore throat, you get some drippy and some sneezy and some
achy
and some wheezy, and we do our best to figure it out and try to treat the underlying cause. There's nothing we can do about the smoke in the air though.
So. No, there was no. I mean, I wore KN95, but then they were talking about how small the particles were, and how that might not even have been a good enough defense there either.
No, and I felt so bad seeing people working outside on those days.
Oh my God,
couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that was wild, and it was the day our air conditioning went out.
Oh,
yeah, that was startling. We woke up, we were sweating, and then they were like, "Keep your windows closed."
Oh no.
So how are things going? I mean, I know that you've been working with legislators. Obviously, they're off for the summer, but is there anything that you are in communication with some of the folks that you're working on policy? I know that that's something you've been very passionate about.
Sure. So, one of the things that I've always been a huge proponent of, and I'm going to keep pushing, and I'm really hoping that we're seeing the tide turning, and that's Medicare for all. So universal health care coverage. And I think my hope, my prayer is that as we go into the midterms and beyond, that we're going to get representatives who are also on board with the logic of just giving everyone health insurance. Everyone gets, police services. Everyone gets free education. But why is healthcare, which is literally life or death, why is that carved out as being something that you have to earn? Right. So I'm working with groups on trying to get that. The other one that we talked about before was a hospital regulatory board in the state of Illinois, which would set the rates for reimbursement for all the hospitals in the state.
Yes, please.
So that the hospitals that are at risk, that are taking care of poorer patients, uninsured patients, when they do get reimbursed, they get reimbursed at a rate that is going to allow them to meet their budget and stay afloat. And some of the other hospitals who are in more affluent areas, have a better payer mix, they may be reimbursed less. But the idea being we're going to be shoring up the safety net hospitals so that they don't close.
Yeah.
So that is a bill that was introduced last session. It didn't go anywhere, unfortunately, but it's going to be reintroduced in January. So we're hoping to drum up support for that because it's an idea whose time has come. It's something that's been done in Maryland successfully for over a decade, and it's with all the Medicaid cuts that we're seeing, there are a lot of hospitals that are at risk, as you're aware.
Yeah.
There are 9 hospitals in the state of Illinois that were identified as being at risk of closure. So if we don't do something, then we know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think that, and there are already communities even before all these cuts that were hanging on for a thread. We have hospital deserts. We have, in particular, we have OBGYN deserts where women who need prenatal care have to drive an hour and a half. And the chances of somebody saying, well, do I really want to drive an hour and a half in each direction, for them to tell me I need some vitamins without necessarily thinking, realizing there's so much more that is provided in support for a pregnant woman.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a lot. How about the explosive diarrhea? Has a very strange
I had a
situation.
feeling we were going to have to talk about that because why not? So the cases keep building. 18,000 cases in the U.S.
Wow.
Can you believe that? Maybe we do need to monitor the.
We should fund that. We should fund the CDC.
Maybe we shouldn't fire the people who are doing that. Yes, I mean it's just awful. So now Illinois is affected. We're seeing cases. Don't buy Taylor Farms produce. For multiple reasons, but that being one of them.
Well, I can see what the rest of it is that they contribute a lot of money to this administration. And apparently after a phone call, after the Taylor Farms was identified as being one of the sources of the outbreak, a phone call was made to the administration. They're like, oh, it was a false positive. Whereas another organization had identified Taylor Farms and has not walked that back.
Yeah,
Yes. I just say
it's scary. It is. I shouldn't have laughed because it's serious.
It's scary. It is. But people also make that. There are people who are vulnerable health-wise, who are compromised if this happens to them.
It's
can be
more than an inconvenience. Yes. Absolutely.
And then there are people who are saying, well, this is cheaper than GLPs. So there's a whole range there, Doc. You see what I'm saying? There was a whole cart of Taylor Farms, and I didn't post it yet, but a whole cart of Taylor Farms lettuce, and I was like, oh, it's the GLP sale.
Oh, no.
I was thinking that. But do you know any folks that are taking GLP, and do you have any thoughts on this as something as weight management outside of like health needs?
So what we know so far is that they're effective, which, we can't really say that about the previous medications we'd had for weight loss. We also know so far that they seem to be, pretty safe. So they're effective, they're safe. What are the downsides? Well, one is they're expensive.
Right. And
so it is possible in my experience, insurers are not covering it for weight loss. They're only covering it for diabetes.
Okay. So please, folks, do not get diabetes so you can have GLPs, please.
Yeah, that's not the way to do it. But you can obtain it online. You can, there are lots of websites where you can go and you have a quote unquote a consultation and you fill out a questionnaire and then a doctor on the other end reviews it and then approves you for the drug. And as long as there aren't any absolute contraindications, which would be a personal or a family history of medullary thyroid cancer, because that's been linked to this drug if you have a history,
right?
Not for people who don't. And if you have any significant GI issues, because the way it works is it slows down your gut. So if you already have, pretty significant constipation, this might not be the right drug for you. It can certainly promote more nausea, vomiting. If you have a lot of really severe reflux, again, that might make it worse. But I think for most people, it's safe, it's effective. And the question is, what happens after you stop taking it?
Well, that was my question. Is it long term?
Right.
Is it for the rest of your life? And it seems...
For our diabetics,
it is.
That's part of their treatment regimen. Right. And so the expectation is they would stay on it to control their diabetes. Right. And if anything, it actually allows them to get off a lot of other medications. Which is really a remarkable thing, including their blood pressure medicines, because when they lose the weight, their blood pressure goes down.
I don't know if I want to ask this question from the 872 because it's a parasite. Right, that's being detected. Are there other ways for it to be transmitted? And I can't phrase it the way this person put it, other than eating contaminated produce.
No, you don't. It's not person to person.
Not person to. You know what? Thank you. I hope that covers enough territory that I don't have to go into 872.
So if you have an infection with it, and you don't wash your hands and you handle food, then you can get it. But if you are just, let's say, around other people who have it.
If you're participating in an intimate relationship.
Oh, depends on which parts are going where.
Well, there you go. Then that might move into the territory you're talking about, 872. And it sounds like, yeah.
Just keep your mouth away. Keep your mouth away from the bad parts.
Thank you, 872, for making me and the doctor who deals with a lot of things, has seen a lot in her entire career, and still has to come into my studio to blush.
It's working.
Yeah. See, and it was vague. It was all very vague. I didn't say anything else. I did not say anything else. Kids are going back to school, and folks have to stay up to date on their vaccinations for their kids. I'm here to say that I have always been fully vaccinated, up to date on all of them, including my updated COVID shots. I know. Even when my boys were little, I was a little bit concerned about how many. One time Griffin got 4 at once, and for him it was more emotional. Like it gave him kind of. I also don't want this whole I want to space them out to become why are we spacing them out? You know what I mean? It's challenging too, isn't it?
And I understand the distress when parents take their kids in, and you see your kids getting harm inflicted on them. They're crying. They're upset. My office is down the hall from the pediatricians. Let me tell you, I hear it all day long. But the fact and the truth is that they save lives. So it's a temporary pain. It's a temporary, discomfort. But if it keeps them from dying of a preventable disease, it's absolutely worth it.
Because we have a resurgence of mumps, of measles. I mean, these are things that we had eradicated. We were down to undetectable with measles.
Right.
I mean, mumps was still circulating. I know that because I got the mumps when I was at Girl Scout camp.
Oh.
And
I got mumps too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah.
I was in a lot of pain. I remember that.
And it's dangerous for men because they could be sterile, right? So I'm just saying, folks,
right?
They work. I don't know. Nothing in life is perfect, but diseases that have been eradicated are at least a step in the direction of keeping the general population, most of us, safe.
When you take a look at what has been responsible for our increase in longevity throughout, decades, millennia. Public hygiene is one of them for sure. Not drinking sewer water, that helps.
What? Doctors washing their hands before they operate?
Right? Oh, that too.
What?
That helps. But if you actually take a look at the life curves, people making it out of childhood is because they're not dying of preventable diseases, vaccine preventable diseases, is actually what boosts our overall longevity rate. So if you don't make it past 10, then you're not contributing to that curve. But vaccines have been responsible for that, and I think the institution of Medicare. Yeah, people are living longer because they have access to health care.
Exactly,
in their older age.
We have. Hey, Patti, is the cyclospora crisis finally a legitimate reason for ivermectin, and that's what's secretly been happening behind the scenes all this time? It seems like a bizarre way to go.
It's a horse dewormer, yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh,
it's not
I see.
It doesn't attack the same.
Before we go to the break, having dealt with being overweight my entire life, GLP has been life-changing for me. Of course, it should be a maintenance medication, better covered long-term. I feel like people only consider the cosmetic aspect with these drugs and pass judgment on those using them. I have a friend who is very open about it. Erica Nicole Clark has been making videos about how much weight she's lost, how good she feels, and I think it's both. I think it can be both. Also, especially for performers, it's both.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the health benefits are myriad. Sleep apnea goes away.
What?
Right? A lot of...
I've heard it helps with cravings for alcohol and other narcotics.
Yes, absolutely. And nicotine. Yeah, okay. Absolutely.
There you go.
Just all of the health benefits that you get, reduction in, heart disease, liver disease. We use it in people who have chronic, what used to be called fatty liver disease. Now it's called non-metabolic associated steatosis. But fatty liver disease goes away. I mean, it's a wonder drug. It really is. So the benefits aren't just cosmetic. Absolutely.
Thank you, 70. And they say that they feel fortunate to have insurance that covers it. Let's take a break. People should talk to their doctors about that too. I mean, if they haven't brought it up, ask what's the path for me as far as my medical needs. 773-763-9278. Let's open up the phone lines. When we come back, we'll continue our conversation with Dr. Kathy Tynas. We want to thank our sponsors, Pride Coffee Roasters. Go to pridecoffeeroasters.com. Put in an order for the best single origin, roasted to order coffee beans you have ever had. I'm on the Peru bag of coffee beans, and they're fantastic, and I love the way they make my kitchen smell. I also want to thank our friends at Source Solar. Go to source.solar, make an appointment with Peter Sorellis. Maybe it's time to get solar panels on your house or business. He will walk you through the entire process, and he has partnered with Illinois Solar for All to help you with all your financing. And we also want to thank our friends at Monaco Brewing Company. Holy cats! So if you're not following the story of Kirk Bangstead, and they've taken away his brewery license in Wisconsin, coverage has gone, I would say, global at this point, as far as the guy who offered free beer day on the day that it happens. They've taken away his brewery license in.
Isn't that something that you get when you're born in Wisconsin?
It's a brewery license, I think so. More done in time as we come back on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKW 1150, and hello to all our friends tuning in digitally.
Hey Google, play WCPT.
Streaming Chicago's progressive talk from TuneIn.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway, or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk and Pete.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our drive home. Joining me in studio is my guest co-host, Dr. Kathy Tynas. She's internal medicine for adults at Alivio Medical Center. She's also the director of education. You can go to alivio.org. That's ALIVIO.org and find out about their locations. And they provide care regardless of your ability to pay, as it should be. I was, one of the things, for all it's bad and good, I was telling Dr. Tynas before she came in studio that there's two things I'm actually doing to try to get back in shape. One is, as I told you, I'm doing, I found I'm on the side of Instagram where people in their 50s are training to sprint. I hate running. I think we've talked about it. Every time I go running, I want to go stopping, which is why I was more of a sprinter in grade school and track. And also I liked hurdles. I was 5'6". I wasn't like super tall, so we had low hurdles. I liked it because it was like there was something to get, something every few feet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's
breaks up the boredom.
Exactly.
Right.
So, but sprinting, so I was out here on Milwaukee Avenue. If folks are ever driving by, I was skipping. So the first leg of training for sprinting is walk 30 seconds, sprint, and then skip, like light skipping. And I'm going to do that for a week and then do some like high skipping, knees up and stuff. And then the next part after that, that's for 2 weeks. And then hill sprinting, like just for 30 seconds, running up a hill. And then just...
That is a really efficient fat burner.
Right?
Yeah.
I was just like, this sounds like this is doable. And that's the thing. And then the other training I've been doing, but it's too hot to run more, is it's the zombie 5K. So basically, it's like role playing. You're listening to an audio telling you that there's zombies behind you, and since they don't move very fast, you just have to do a light run.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's very fun.
Whatever it takes, man.
Yes.
You gotta enjoy the exercise that you're doing.
Because I hate running.
Otherwise, you ain't gonna do it.
I know that running's a little bit tougher as we get older.
Yeah, I was back to it after I got an injection in my hip, and then the injection wore off. So
is it cortisone or?
Yeah, cortisone.
Yeah.
So I have to go. I've been going every 3 months. So I'm still figuring it out.
I have a. Are you working with physical therapists?
I am.
Because I love my guys over here at Physical on Milwaukee Avenue. They do such a great job.
Yeah, I love my therapist. He's great.
Yeah.
So that I'm doing, and when you build muscle, that also makes you burn calories in your day-to-day life. You got stronger muscles, burning more calories. So it all helps.
I'm trying to think of, I didn't ask, I forgot what we were supposed to do during the break, which was I was supposed to think of a good trivia question for the McHenry County Fair. let's see, good for county fair ticket. Let's see, county fair ticket. Now I'm just like, I'm not asking ChatGPT, but I'm kind of, I don't, 156 range from, you know what? Let's see. No, I don't think I can do any of this. You know what? Maybe it's, I'll just do a really easy one. Okay. I'm going to do a super easy one. I know that there are 3 callers on hold right now, so that means we have 3 lines open. Sorry, Lady B. So the first person who can tell me this is super easy. I mean, you're all going to be mad at me for the first. It's really just like the first person that gets in. What famous movie was filmed in Woodstock, Illinois, which is where we'll be broadcasting the McHenry County Fair? 773-763-9278. That's 773-763-9278. What, not famous movie. I mean, it's what movie, but I mean, like the most famous movie shot in Woodstock, because if they shot something else there, and then it's, I would say, what people are drawn to, what they keep coming back for every single year for a specific event that's tied into that movie in Woodstock, Illinois.
Again, one of my favorite movies.
Oh my God. We have not spoken about this. Well, after the winner calls it. We'll talk about some places that we can go. Okay. Because I know, I can't talk about it yet. Hey, Jim, you're on the line with me and Dr. Kathy Tynas. What's on your mind, my friend?
Was it the 10 Commandments? Anyway, did you see Fauci? They try to paint him as a Jekyll and Hyde character. Now, picture this doctor. He goes into the laboratory, turns into Hyde, and gets any concoction he can to kill as many people as he possibly can. Now, this is what they're alluding to. And the other thing, real quick, is Musk is going to spend his last buck. Yeah, good luck with this, but we're on Republican candidates throughout the nation, and him and his boys set up USAID. Now, USAID was instituted by Jack Kennedy in the 60s. It saved, I don't know how many lives. How many lives it saved, God only knows. But how many lives is it taken away now that it's gone? But here's the miserable part about it. 1,800 employees for USAID were given 20 minutes to evacuate their desk with security guards behind them. Now, these are people devoted to their job. I mean, we're living.
Those are do-gooders. And they're treating them like they're criminals or something.
Yeah, well, they are. They race them out with security guards.
That's awful.
Well, it's not even awful. But think of the poor people around the world. I mean, this Ebola thing is insane. It looks like it's going to be the worst case of Ebola, in history. And there's nobody there to help. There's nobody from the CDC or anybody in America to help anybody there.
It's a tragedy. And all the AIDS cases that are going to explode because, now they're no longer providing AIDS medications for free.
Doctor, now you know Republicans. I mean, why are the Republicans now? Since I've been a kid, since 1970, in the 70s, I've been for health care, right? But the Republicans will say to me, "Oh, you got Social Security, and if we give you health care, then you'll have really loyal voters." I said, "Listen, it's insane. You know, the guys just don't Republicans get ill too? They can get ill and die. I mean, but why are they so? I mean, is the insurance they're backing Republicans so heavily that they just can't get away from it. But anyway, I think it's the 10 Commandments, Patty. Anyway, thank you. Thank you, dear. Have a good night.
Thanks, Jim. Yeah. We'll get our winner on so that we can let's find out. Hey, Rick, what famous movie, comes to mind when you hear about this town in McHenry County? What town is it? What movie is it in Woodstock?
On the Rocks with a Twist, and it's Groundhog Day.
Hey! Yeah, Vermouth on the Rocks with a Twist. I wonder if anybody started drinking that. I don't. I mean, imagine. Have you ever tried it?
No, but
I'm not a sweet vermouth guy.
Vermouth is they drink it straight up around the rocks like that in Spain.
Oh, really?
It's a big aperitif.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. Well,
throw a little of olive in there too. Yes.
Sorry. Oh yeah, that makes sense. A little salty with the sweet.
Yep.
Oh, I may have to try that. Well, Rick, you've got tickets for the 2026 McHenry County Fair, which is returning to Woodstock from August 4th through the 9th, and I'll be there. So please make sure you stop. If you're going on Friday, you don't have to go on Friday, but we're offering. You've got a 3-pack of single-day free admission passes to the 2026 McHenry County Fair, and Lady B's got your information, I believe. Yes.
Yay.
Yes, Rick, I'll see you there maybe. All right.
Congratulations.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Folks, we'd love to have you come out and join us at the McHenry County Fair. Let's get to some more phone calls. We've got Jeff from Elgin. Hey, Jeff, what's on your mind, my friend?
Hey, I was going to guess Deliverance because whenever I'm up in McHenry County, I always feel a little bit like I've fallen off into uncivilized territory. They're awful red up there, so be careful.
Well, on the other hand, I mean, I think so. Councilwoman Natalie Ziemba, who's on the air, it sounds as though from some of the things that they vote on, at least in Woodstock, the town of Woodstock, they're pretty closely. I mean, like down the middle. I mean, there's 3 and 3, I believe she said, and then but the mayor is hi, Mike Turner. He's off the rocker.
That poor little woke bakery that was struggling through the pandemic out there. They had this great social media, and they freaking drove those people out of business, like with pitchforks and torches. Literally, it was nuts. They had someone like camped out in their parking lot every day, like chanting Bible verses or something insane like that.
It was
like,
awful.
I don't. Yeah, it's wild. I mean, in fairness, I got family up there. They're not like that, but it irks me to have to go that way.
Yeah, that was.
Oh no.
Yep, there was the Uprising Bakery and Cafe, which was actually it was about 20 miles southeast of Woodstock in Lake of the Hills, and she was great. I believe she's a Democratic committee woman now, by the way, the former owner.
Oh, good.
She's still doing the good work. Yep, thank you.
Okay.
Who knew baked goods could be so subversive?
Wanted to ask the doc. So. Two quick things, actually. With GLPs, anytime a new drug hits the market, people are all on it all of a sudden. I'm always a little, skeptical / conspiracy. Is the tail wagging the dog here? Is Big Pharma paying for this marketing blitz, and now suddenly everyone has to get this, and we're going to find out in a year or 18 months or 2 years that it causes deformities and, people to grow second ears or, drastically increases their risk of cancer or whatever. Because I feel like as a gay man, we got pushed PrEP super hard when it first became available. Big Pharma was really behind that push. And then come to find out the formulation of PrEP that they originally hit the market with was the lower quality, more dangerous version because it was cheaper to produce. So I'm always a little scared when something hits the market and everyone's immediately behind it. What's going on there?
Yeah, I share your concern. I've seen a lot of weight loss drugs over my too many years of practice that came out with a lot of promise. And then, after, a while, we find out that, there's some damage to heart valves was one of the drugs was purported to cause. So, I think it is healthy to have some skepticism. But having said that, so far, these really have turned out to be revolutionary drugs in their effects. And for a lot of people, their health and their quality of life are improved dramatically. So, you kind of have to weigh benefit with risk with anything that you do. And so I would say, if maybe you're a little bit overweight and you could maybe control it, with some lifestyle changes, and maybe you don't want to expose yourself to potential risk of, right now we don't really know any long-term harms, but that's always possible. It's always possible when a new drug comes out. But having said that, for a lot of people, it's really made a huge difference in their health and in their lives.
Jeff, I know you had another question, but I've got to take a break here because we have an interview that we've got with Justine Siegel, Commissioner of the Women's Professional Baseball League, and I can't make her wait. So if you want to hang on, we're going to take more phone calls after the 6 o'clock break with Dr. Tynes as well as with Dr. Shika Jain in a moment on WCPT. We'll continue with our conversation.
WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk, where facts matter.
Welcome back to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us as we continue our drive home on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1115 Seattle, KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul. Hello to all of our friends who are tuning in. Wow, I'm already verklempt, folks. I'm nervous. I already told our guest I was a little bit nervous. Thank you to our friends who are tuning in digitally on Facebook, YouTube, and now Substack with Minocqua Brewing Company. And of course, you can find all of our podcasts available wherever you find those, including heartlandsignal.com. I'm super excited about our next guest. You guys have heard me talk about my childhood and playing Little League Baseball. And I'm very excited that on August 1st, the Women's Pro Baseball League will open its first season. And every single game is happening in Springfield, Illinois. 4 teams, Robin Roberts Stadium, regular season and playoffs start to finish right here in our own state. Justine Siegel co-founded this league and now serves as its first commissioner. She spent 2 decades doing things no woman had done in professional baseball. First woman to coach a men's pro team. First woman to throw batting practice in Major League Baseball. At 13, a coach told her girls should play softball. She did not take the advice. I really am getting choked up. Justine, thank you so much for joining us today. So tell us about growing up. You grew up in Cleveland Heights. Was your family all baseball people?
I think that I did grow up in Cleveland, proud Clevelander. I just played baseball. Like I never thought about it because I was always the only girl in everything I did. And my family used to go to the Guardians games. I used to go with my grandfather and my brother. That was a blast. Eating everything you can, going home with a souvenir.
Yep.
And I played other sports too, but baseball was the one that when they told me I should leave, I couldn't. I couldn't. Right now, I'm going to play forever. So I just kept playing baseball, and I became the first girl to play at my high school and possibly the state of Ohio. I just, the more they tried to take the game from me, the more I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have that option. Like they didn't want me to play. The boys certainly didn't want me to play. But I mean, you had to have. At what point did you feel, or did you ever earn their respect? Because I earned their respect 20 years later. I had a guy come up to me and say he thinks about me now that he's raising daughters, and thinks about how tough I was to stay on a team that didn't want me. Did you ever get that point where? Well, obviously you did, because you worked in the majors. So do you remember that moment though, when you felt that acceptance?
I mean, I didn't feel unaccepted from the boys until high school. Like when my senior year, when I played, and they were like, some of them were just against it. Well, my friend said it was against God's way that I play baseball. And that was my friend, my good friend. So there was it of that. You always kind of felt a little bit of an outsider. I did it 12 and under. I was clueless. I was just a kid playing baseball until everyone told me how unusual it was. I was playing baseball. So, I think I was able to listen to those who kept me. It hurt when people said I should quit or I don't belong, but I stayed on course.
You have opened the door now. I mean, there's my best friend from grade school. We're going to be coming down to Springfield, and she watches the work that you guys are all doing, and has that. I mean, she was a far better. I'll be honest with you, she was a far better player than I was. She was, but we played softball, and so tell folks why it's not the same. Not the same sport.
So, yeah, that's a fair question. So baseball and softball are different. For example, the Cardinals play baseball, right? We all know that they're going to throw overhand. They play on a 90-60 field, which is bigger. Softball throws underhand and plays on a small field for forever. Kind of, it's the same field at 11 as it is at 30. And baseball has a smaller bat. It's a little bit heavier, and fast pitch has a longer bat. But I think, and the ball is different. Of course, a baseball is small and a softball is bigger. So it just became a societal myth that girls play softball and boys play baseball, and there was no real reason for it. So, that's kind of it. There was no real reason other than they wanted to keep girls away from boys playing baseball. So, but that's all changing now.
Yeah, it is. Where do the girls and women who are playing, who you are recruiting, who you've worked with, and who your coaches are finding? I mean, are there women's leagues all over the country? Are there women who just go through and are able to get to the point of playing? I know that one of the girls at Taft High School just got to play at Wrigley, first girl to play in a playoff on a boys baseball team, on the baseball team. See, I'm even doing it. But go ahead, tell us where a lot of these girls and women are playing.
Many of our girls played baseball, and then from there they switched to softball because they felt they ran out of opportunities, or they wanted a D1 scholarship. So they might have played high school baseball and then went and got a D1 softball scholarship. And then many of those athletes have been playing on their national teams. So while they may have taken a stint over to softball because of the higher opportunity, particularly to pay for education, they were still playing baseball for Team USA or Team Canada. I'd say at least half of our league plays for their national team, and that includes Team Korea, Team Japan, Team Mexico, so Australia. So it's really an international group, and they've been playing baseball most of their lives.
Amazing. And coming up, did you see yourself as somebody who was opening, the door for people to come through, or building that door? Because, you're giving, if I'm any indication, I'm sure you're running into this a lot, of just the enthusiasm and the thrill of knowing that somebody has not just kicked the door open, but they're holding it open for everybody else.
When I was a teenager, I felt like the weight of my entire gender on my shoulders. Like if I failed, then it was proof that girls couldn't do it, or it would be used as proof that girls couldn't do it. So I really held that, and it was it made baseball not as fun as it should have been, to hold that responsibility, whereas the boys got to just go play and make an error and then, nothing.
Yeah.
It's just another game where I didn't really get that freedom. But, I think when I became the first woman to coach men's pro baseball, first in 2009 with the Brockton Rocks, it was an incredible experience and I'm forever grateful, but not everyone wanted me there. But I understood the gravity of like what I was doing is if I'm a problem, right? A problem in quotations for those on the radio, then that's why women shouldn't be in pro baseball, right? Because they can't handle, a little teasing or, whatever it is when it's really bullying and harassment. But so I think I've always been aware that I had a chance to help make a difference for those that come from behind me. And that's always been really important to me and a motivator as well when it gets really hard.
Well, on behalf of so many grateful players, thank you. Again, I'm going to keep saying thank you. So tell folks, there are 4 teams across 4 cities, and you're putting the entire first season in one Illinois ballpark. Talk to us about that decision and why Springfield, Illinois.
Yeah, so we launched this weekend, August 1st, to a sold-out crowd. And we're here in Springfield, Illinois. We have 4 cities represented within our league, which is Boston, New York, San Francisco, and LA. But we decided to come to Springfield, one, because we thought the production, so to speak, right, to be in one site, to build the league first as a single entity with less travel, make sure our production is good, it costs less money to be in one city. So we were looking for a spot. And then I know Jamie Toole, who is the GM of the Lucky Horseshoes. And I knew he was a great guy. When he reached out, I was like, hey, wait a minute, maybe we have an opportunity here, to work together. And I knew we'd be in good hands. And here we are in Springfield, and we just can't wait to play.
Yeah, I'm excited to go down with listeners and as I mentioned, my friends since we were in first grade, because the state fair is happening too. I hope everyone gets a chance. I don't know. There's when you have fried Oreo cookies and fried ice cream and all the great rides. Folks, you got to get down to Springfield, catch a game, go to the state capitol, and go to the state fair, and of course, you got to get down there. So Kelsey Whitmer, number 1 overall, Moni Davis in Los Angeles, Ayami Sato coming over from Japan. They are part of this international group that you're talking about. I mean, talk to folks about the level of athleticism, of skill these women bring to the game.
Sure. Well, they are the best in their country. With playing for Team USA, 5 of our players play for the Savannah Bananas, or one's a manager, but will be playing with us. Ashton Lansdale, who you didn't mention, played for Team USA, and she didn't just hit the ball out of the fence, like it hit it out of the park, so they can play. Yeah. They've been playing their whole lives. They've been playing against men most of the time, and now they can finally get a league of their own, and they can't wait to be together with other women at the elite level playing a whole season.
How are you thinking about that opening night, August 1st, 5:00? It's New York and Los Angeles. This is the first game. Is that right? What's that feel like for you? Talk us about what that night's going to be like.
Yeah, I mean, the night's going to be historical, and the buzz is going to be incredible. We have opening ceremonies. We have women from the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League that played in the 40s and 50s coming out, a bit of a passing of the torch. And it's just going to be great baseball. I mean, the passion that you're going to see from the women who play, and it's going to be affordable. We're all looking for affordable entertainment, and now you get baseball women, and you can bring out your families and your friends and have a great night.
Absolutely. Folks in Chicago or nearby, I mean, it's a 2.5-hour train ride, and it's again, affordable. You can get on the train, relax, and get down there and see a game. Again, we're talking to Justine Siegel, commissioner of the Women's Pro Baseball League, opening their first season August 1st at Robin Roberts Stadium in Springfield. We're going to take a break here and continue our conversation with our guest, because there's also an educator element to this that we want to let folks know about for teachers and the commitment the league is making to education. More after this on WCPT, KKNW, KTNF, and all of our friends tuning in digitally.
This is WCPT 820, where facts matter.
No detours, no distractions. Just bold ideas and real talk. This is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our drive here on WCPT, KKNW, and KTNF, and of course, everyone tuning in digitally. During our break, I had to go blow my nose and wipe my tears because I didn't realize. And our guest, Justine Siegel, who's the commissioner of the Women's Pro Baseball League, and I were talking briefly. And I wanted to share with you guys, and I've told the story already, Commissioner. Again, opening day is August 1st, and we'll tell you more about getting tickets. That game is sold out, but you have opportunities for all the games because they'll all be here in Illinois. A few weeks ago, I was at a diner in my neighborhood where I grew up, and there was a girl in the Norwood Park baseball uniform, and I walked over, and I had to introduce myself that I had played over 40 years ago, and 45 years ago is right. And so I talked to her and her mom, and she told me even today, Justine, that when she's the only girl on the team, she's a pitcher, and she gets taunted by the adults. They'll say, "Oh, let's see if she can throw." It is wild, and when they come to these games, they're going to find out we can throw, aren't they?
Oh, for sure, for sure. They're gonna. I mean, we have always known women can play baseball, but for some of our audience, it's going to be the first time they've ever seen women playing and seeing it at the level that they perhaps weren't expecting.
Yeah. Well, thank you again for this young girl who is. I'm going to make sure that they get down to the games because they live in my neighborhood, and we're trying to do a field trip.
And for that girl, we have actually a local program. I founded the nonprofit Baseball for All for girls to play baseball, and we have a local program of the Chicago Perfect Catch. So any girl in Illinois, if she wants to play baseball with other girls, she can find them online, I'm sure.
I'll reach out
and start out. You could become a coach.
Yeah. What? Oh, let's talk. So let's talk about your founding partner, Horace Mann, a Springfield company founded in 1945 by educators for educators. Your league lands in their hometown, and they sign on as the first partner out of the gate. Tell us about how that came together.
It just made a lot of sense to us. We want to do more. We want to be in the community, and so, the partnership was there, and we couldn't be more excited to just like we're baseball, but we can be more than just baseball, right? We can use baseball to help build everything, really, right? Confidence, reading literacy, all these things that we can do to help make social change, and the WPBL is all about that.
So are we. I'm grateful for that. And so every Wednesday, any educator in the country with a school ID gets 2 free tickets. This is amazing. And your players are telling stories about the teachers who matter to them. Tell us about that idea. I love that.
Well, I know I wouldn't be here without the teachers who poured into me. That's for sure. So anytime we can recognize teachers, that's, I think, very important to our players. And we have a lot of young players. We have players who are still in school and the university. So we know teachers are the backbone, and we're grateful.
It's what we have to work towards. I think a lot of us hold on to those bad moments. I just flashed to I went to a technical high school here in Chicago, Lane Tech, and I said I was on the softball team, and my drafting teacher asked me if I was a lesbian, which I just flashed to that. Again, there are good teachers, and then there are ones who stick with you for the wrong reasons. And that's the thing that comes back to like the idea that you're outside of the construct or what the expectation is, regardless of. I mean, that was 1986. My teacher said that to me, and what difference did it make? Right? It was so wild.
Yes. I mean, I have stories too.
Yeah.
But I have so many good stories of teachers.
Yes. Yes.
So I remember those ones. You remember the bad ones or the ones who just said the wrong thing at the wrong time,
Yeah. That's what I was going to say is that's what I love about what you're doing is to help people remember the good stories because that's the way our brains are wired because it's an element of survival. We remember the bad things that happen to us so we know how to protect ourselves. So remembering the good things, it takes actually a little bit of work. So let's do that, right?
Yeah. My high school teacher at Brewster Academy actually fought for the right for me to play baseball on the team. So without him, I wouldn't have been able to play. He just insisted that, if I can't play, maybe he's not coaching.
So that's fantastic. I want to remind folks that this is the right website, womensprobaseballleague.com. Is that the right one?
Yes, you can get our schedule. You can get player profiles, find us, in all the news pieces we've been in. It's a great place to start, but also find us on socials.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to say our socials are really pretty fun. And
yes, they are.
You're going to enjoy them. We have a really great social media team.
Folks, as soon as you start following one player, because that's how I started with it was Kelsey when I found out about the Savannah Bananas and the other women in the league, and then it's like collecting baseball cards. You start following social media accounts. That's the new baseball card, right?
Yeah, you've got Brittany Apcar, who plays outfield with a prosthetic, and she talks about her journey and how people have helped her find the right prosthetic so she can keep playing. Because at an elite level, it was starting to bleed on her nub, as she calls it. And now we've gotten her the right prosthetic so she can continue playing. She played in high school and beyond, but now that we're throwing 80, she needs a better a better prosthetic for our arm. And I mean, like, our players are just amazing. We have, an engineer, we have an architect, we have a lot of firefighters who that's what they do in the off season.
Amazing.
So you're really going to find, everybody, in our teams, in our leagues that you can look up to.
That's outstanding. Again, folks, you can go to the website and all the social media accounts, womensprobaseballleague.com, to get tickets and the schedule. And again, all the games are being played here in Illinois, in Springfield, Illinois, and regular season and playoffs all wrapped up by the end of September. Tell folks, this is such a brilliant idea. This has been such a long time in the making. So this is the launch pad, though, right? The goal is to build from here. Is that right?
Yeah. So we just needed to get our first season done, and then we expect to get more into the cities that we represent and expand into new ones.
And I also want to thank you before I know you have a schedule, you've got other media to do, so I don't want to take too much of your time, and I want to let you get to your lunch real quick. Just tell us a little bit about the background on the baseball names, because these are all also just wrapped in so much history and respect.
Well, we chose 4 women to honor, to name the teams from. Like, Murphy was one of the first women to play with Major League players, Murphy, and she's part of the LA Queens. Heights, Boston Hunters. She was the first woman to apply to Harvard's medical school, and of course they rejected her. But now that women make up like half of the medical field. So someone has to put a dent in the wall.
Yeah.
And these women did it. And here we are, not just putting a dent, but going through the wall.
Yes, you are. Again, folks, ticket and full schedule available at womensprobaseballleague.com. Opening night Saturday, August 1st. That game is sold out. All games played at Robin Roberts Stadium in Springfield. So get down there, get on Amtrak, get in your car, fly in from Minnesota, from Seattle. All the games are wherever in the country. All the games are right here. And every Wednesday night, it's your night. Show your school ID and bring somebody with you. Again, Commissioner Justine Siegel, thank you for everything. I think my tears have all dried up, and now I'll be more professional and less weepy next time we talk. I wish you the best. I will see you in Springfield. Have a great rest of your day, my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you. More after this on WCPT, KKNW, KTNF. Everybody, right back.
Because facts matter. You are listening to WCPT 820.
Driving it home with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing asses says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our drive home, and hello to our friends in Seattle who are tuning in on KKNW 1150, and of course our friends now joining us in St. Paul, Minneapolis on KTNF AM 950. We are so thrilled to have you all, as well as our friends tuning in digitally on Facebook, YouTube, and Minocqua Brewing Company Substack. Please consider subscribing to those platforms and sharing with your family and friends so they can join the conversation as well. I know Carl in Kankakee has a card all made up that he hands out to people to spread the word about WCPT and our live stream. Although he only mentions Jonas Posito and Tom Hartman, I won't take that personally, Carl, but I love that card. It's got a QR code. So if you have ways to share with your community and friends, we would love that. We want to thank our sponsors, Pride Coffee Roasters. You can go to pridecoffeeroasters.com and put in an order for the best single origin roasted to order coffee beans you have ever had. They're so good. I have my Peru blend that I'm going through this week, and it makes me so happy when we put it in the grinder and then and brew that coffee. It's fantastic. Go to pridecoffeeroasters.com, and if you're so inclined, they also have swag. My favorite is the tote bag that says "Sounds Gay, I'm In." It's one of my favorites. So go to pridecoffeeroasters.com. We want to thank our friends at Source Solar. Go to source.solar and make an appointment with Peter Sorellis. Maybe it's time to get solar panels on your house or business. He is partnered with Illinois Solar for All, so that will help you with financing. That's source.solar. And of course, our friends at Minocqua Brewing Company. Go to minocquabrewingcompany.com and put in an order for some Fascist Tears. That's right, you can get Fascist Tears in a can. Maybe it's a West Coast IPA. Either way, it tastes good because they cry so hard all the time. That's minocquabrewingcompany.com.
I love that one.
We are so thrilled to have in studio with us Dr. Kathy Tynes. She is an internist and a director of education at Alivio Medical. You can go to alivio.org. That's ALIVIO.org to find out about the locations in your area. Again, that's Alivio Medical Center. And we're always thrilled to have her in studio as a guest co-host. And she was thrilled to find out that our guest in the 6 o'clock hour is none other than Dr. Shika Jain, who is on the line with us. Thank you so much for joining us, Doc. How are you doing?
Thanks so much for having me. I am doing great and glad to be here.
We're thrilled. I was so really like Dr. Tina's lit up. She's like, "You're having Dr. Shikajana?" I'm like, I'm a fan of both of yours. So this all works out great for me.
Well, I'm thrilled. I love both of you, so this is great for me.
Excellent. And so we were talking in the last hour about various medical issues, and you mentioned off the air your social media account and what's happening. Well, first, what I brought up were vaccinations. We're going back to school. Our kids need to stay up to date on their vaccinations. It's not just a suggestion. It's also mandatory for most schools. I know that there have been some exemptions legally for whether it's religious reasons, which kind of casts a cloud on protecting everybody. What are your thoughts? What do you want to share with folks when it comes to being vaccinated and staying safe?
So, I mean, I'm an oncologist, so I'm all about vaccines because it protects not only you, it also protects anybody you come into contact with, especially our immunocompromised patients. They may get vaccines and their immune system may not respond as much, so they need extra protection. I always tell people who are concerned about vaccines, I'm a mom and a physician. And if I was worried at all about the safety of vaccines, I would never give it to my 3 young kids. And so I think it's really important. There's a lot of misinformation and a lot of fear mongering out there about vaccines and their safety. I mean, we saw it like explode during COVID. And so I posted a lot on social media of me and my kids getting shots because I think it's important for people to remember that the people who are recommending you get vaccinated, 1, aren't making any money from it, and 2, are taking it themselves. So if we did not think that it was safe, we would not be doing it ourselves.
It is amazing what people allowed themselves to be lied to about, I guess. Buying in. I mean, because you have to want to believe some of the crazy things, whether it's like wasn't it a microchip? You're being tracked by Bill Gates and things like that. I mean, it was wild. But I do appreciate your point, and I think that's something else to remind folks is that there are a lot of people who are vulnerable. It's not just about, keeping the kids in school safe. There's a whole population of people.
It's about keeping your grandmother from going in the hospital. If you're not going to do it for yourself, maybe you'll do it for somebody else. The whole origin story about why vaccines came under scrutiny was basically all a lie. There was an unscrupulous physician in the United Kingdom in Britain who published a paper that was based on made up evidence that created this false link between vaccines and autism. And for parents who have a child with autism, they're struggling. They're looking for answers. Why did this happen? And it's easy to glom onto something that somebody sells you as a cause, something to blame. That's when they're clutching at straws and trying to understand what's happening to their child. And he was debunked, and his license was revoked. I mean, this was not. It's not a close call. This guy lied. And so, that's what started the whole ball rolling. And now we're seeing, the fruition of that where we've got measles outbreaks in the United States. It's terrible.
Well, and the thing I think that's so important to remember is everybody wants to take care of their families, right? Like everyone out there, no one wants to hurt their children or hurt their families. When my daughter was first born and I took her for her first vaccine appointment, I had a smidge of, oh my gosh, what if there's some truth behind it? I mean, even me. And that's because it is so easy. There's so much nonsense out there that, as Dr. Tina said, they're lies. It's actually lies. But it can seep into your self-conscious and your subconscious. People all of a sudden are thinking, oh my God, maybe there is an iota of truth to it. But there absolutely is not. Vaccines are the safest thing you can do to protect yourself. And the risk of getting very, very sick from these illnesses is much higher than the microscopic chance that you might have one of these very rare vaccine complications that hardly ever happen.
And it was, to your point about even that tiny shred of it was because it was being spread through platforms, through wildly popular shows like Oprah Winfrey's show, which, I mean, people talk about Dr. Oz. They talk about who's the fruitcake.
And then Bobby Kennedy.
But yeah, when he was, but Jenny McCarthy was on Oprah's show as somehow an expert because of her child who had epileptic seizures. And I don't want to go down this whole road, but that set us back. And that did plant a seed that continued to grow for a lot of folks.
And Facebook groups, mom groups.
yes.
I mean, when you are a new mom, the idea, like you are looking for information anywhere. And I'm a triple board certified physician. I have been through a lot of school to learn about the science. And I 100% know that vaccines are safe. And if someone like me can walk into the doctor's office, see my daughter getting a shot and think, oh, maybe there's something behind this random mom who posted on a Facebook group. I mean, that just shows you how much this can impact people who don't have the background, who don't have the science. And at the end of the day, we're all just trying to protect our families. But I will tell you, as a mom, I would never, ever, ever skip a vaccine, change the schedule for my kids. I trust the vaccines, and they have saved my life personally. They've saved my children's life, and I 100% stand by them.
Again, we are talking to Dr. Shikha Jain, who's associate professor and board-certified hematology and oncology physician. She's also a tenured associate professor of medicine in the Division of Hematology and Oncology at the University of Illinois Cancer Center right here in Chicago, and founded Women in Medicine. And this is something that Dr. Tynes, and I don't have I know that you also have a list. I have in front of me adult internal medicine at Alivio Medical Center and executive director of education. And I know that you have served with the Doctors Association here in Illinois.
Sure.
And have gone to a lot of these, had conversations for decades about these issues. And what I'm getting at for both of you is I can't imagine learning everything that you have, helping people on so many different levels, whether it's, delivering news that you don't want to have to share with somebody, which must take its toll for everybody, and giving good news, the whole spectrum of it. And to see a doctor on national television treated the way the things that Dr. Fauci has done for individuals. I mean, I just can't imagine either one of you having to be put through that because you were practicing medicine to the best of your talent, your ability, and your, the expertise. Is wild to me. And I know Shikha, go ahead. I know you've got a lot to say about this.
Well, what I was going to say was, as physicians, we understand that there's a scientific method, there's evidence, there's science, and science evolves, right? We change our recommendations based on what we know at the time. As an oncologist, there's new drugs coming out all the time. 20 years ago, there weren't the drugs we have now. So we evolve. And I actually was talking to several of my friends who we were all frontline workers during the pandemic. And they actually said, watching what's happened this week with Dr. Fauci has actually unearthed a lot of emotions and PTSD and just terrible memories of, holding people's hands when their families could not be with them because they were dying from COVID. I mean, talking about how many of us were attacked for telling people to wear masks just to protect, themselves and protect people. I posted today on social media about, how Dr. Fauci has been a public servant for 5 decades. He served under many administrations. He's not a political being. He is an infectious disease doctor with science backing him up. And he, at great personal risk, continued in this role because he felt drawn to helping as many people as possible. I mean, we call medicine a calling. He is the epitome of medicine as a calling. And for him to get dragged and attacked, I mean, he's in his 80s. Let's let the poor man spend some time at home relaxing instead of testifying about things that he really was doing to the best of his ability to protect us. This post got so many comments within the first 30 seconds of people making up nonsense and lies. And it breaks my heart. And the pandemic was tough, but seeing the vitriol that's come out of how people respond to people like Dr. Fauci and to me and Dr. Tynes, I mean, it breaks my heart.
Where can we find this post so that we can add some positive comments to it?
So you can look, it's on Instagram and on Facebook and on LinkedIn. I'm at Shikha Jain MD on all of those platforms. You can find me on any of them.
Excellent. I'm going to follow you right now. And we're going to take a break and continue our conversation. Absolutely. That's, again, Dr. Shikha Jain. That's SHIKHAJAIN. And I will find the Instagram account right now. So if you're following me, you should be able to follow her. So if you can find the Patti Vasquez show, then you'll find who I'm following and you'll know that it's Dr. Shikha Jain. We'll continue our conversation when we come back and find out about a couple events that are coming up. Everyone can go to wimedicine.org. That's Women in Medicine is what that stands for. wimedicine.org to learn more about an organization that was created by Dr. Shikha Jain. It's a nonprofit organization that educates and empowers women in healthcare to drive meaningful change in our healthcare systems. And Dr. Kathy Tynes in studio with me, who I've known for over a decade. And the insight she's given me and our audience audiences over the years, really about public health, about what we need to do to keep each other safe, from whether it's housing and accessibility to prescriptions and the choices that we make in our lives. We'll continue the conversation when we come back on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150, KTNF AM 950, and hello to everyone watching digitally and perhaps in the future on a podcast. They're all available at heartlandsignal.com.
Alexa, play WCPT.
WCPT from TuneIn.
No detours, no distractions. Just bold ideas and real talk. This is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our drive home. Joining me in studio is Dr. Kathy Tynas. She's the Director of Education and Internal Medicine Doctor at Alivio Medical Center. You can go to alivio.org to learn about the work that they do there and maybe find a location near you. They provide services and support regardless of your ability to pay. That's alivio.org, ALIVIO.org. And on the line with us, we have Dr. Shikha Jain, who's Associate Professor and Board-Certified Hematology and Oncology Physician. Dr. Shikha Jain, we were talking earlier about GLPs, and folks have questions about how, it's kind of a newer drug. It seems like it's helping a lot of people, but, people are a little bit concerned about what it might mean long-term to our heart. Is there concerns about cancer in your field when it comes to GLPs?
Yeah, so actually GLPs are really interesting. I think they're doing great work for a lot of people because they're helping people lose weight. They're helping with diabetes. We know that obesity and being overweight actually is a risk factor for cancer. So there's actually some studies now looking at GLPs and how it can actually help prevent cancers in certain people and maybe overall decrease cancer risks in some patients. So I think there's a lot to be said for utilizing them under a doctor's supervision, of course. I think when you're getting them, there's a lot of people who are selling it for a lot of money online and doing things that compounded that may not be regulated. So I would highly recommend, if you're looking into it, talk to your doctor, because especially if you're struggling with weight or if you have diabetes or other medical problems, it may actually help you in more ways than one.
I think that's very good information to have. So, folks, more than anything else, talk to your doctor. Fine. I think my doctor will be. I think it's funny because in the past, I don't know if I ever told you this, Doc. I tried the South Beach diet over a decade ago, and the thing about that, Dr. Shikha Jain, she just went, oh God. I lost a lot of weight. I also had the cholesterol of a 60-year-old man who was eating liver sausage every day.
So full disclosure, no one knows this except for my mother. I tried the South Beach diet a long time ago as well, and I did lose some weight, but it did not stay off. So yes. I feel you. Yeah,
because for what I realized, and I think this is what people talk about, is it made me mindful about what I was eating, right? So that's if you take that part of doing a diet and just okay, what's this going to cost me later? So to this day, though, I will be honest, I don't know if you do this, but I will eat the topping off a pizza and leave the crust because of being on the South Beach diet.
That is to me, that's the best part anyway, but
it depends.
Yeah.
Maybe some of the handle, but that's Do you have anything left over from having tried that? No?
I still sometimes the keeping track of what you're eating, because you have to think about, okay, what can I and can't I eat? I still do that. So there is definitely some residual good habits that I got from it. The pizza thing, I blot the oil off of my pizza because that's back in the 80s. That's what they told me to do.
Right.
Oh my God.
So I do that.
Where did you do your undergrad? I just feel like I was in the dorms with you at Allen Hall at University of Illinois Champaign-Urbana. That's what we used to do.
I was at University of Chicago, so not too far. Yeah. And I definitely dabbed the oil off of my pizza in the dorms.
Did you do that, Doc?
All I remember is eating it cold.
Oh, yeah. So it's too gelatinous to dab.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
it was already hardened.
Oh my God.
All the oil was already congealed, so it tastes the same.
That's amazing. Yeah.
And who has the time to warm it up?
Exactly.
Yeah, running off to class.
For me, I used to love Grog's Pizza. No, that's just in Champaign-Urbana. And they had a barbecue. You could get a pizza for $4.99 in 1989 with barbecue sauce and red. Anyway, this is not the conversation. That's what led me.
Sounds delicious.
It was so good, so freaking good. So tell us about the conference that you have coming up, Oncology and Social Media, coming up August 7th and 8th.
Yeah, so it's in downtown Chicago. It's going to be awesome. We have some amazing speakers coming, and it's focused on, this organization, Women in Medicine, that I founded. We inherited another organization, another group called Cosmo, which is collaborations in oncology and social media, and the outcomes that happen from people getting their information from Facebook, from TikTok, from Snapchat, because a lot of people get their information online. So Cosmo was started to try to figure out how can we help people, whether it's doctors, nurses, other healthcare providers, get information out that's evidence-based and science-based and get it out to the community. So that's how this was started years ago, and we now have a conference. So the conference it's going to be really fun because it's not just going to be about how do we get the information out, it's also going to be collaborating with people who are there, talking about how do we get to patients, how do we help lift up other physicians and nurses who are doing this work, and how do we drown out all of the nonsense that's out there. The misinformation online and the lies has gotten way worse because now it's coming sometimes from official accounts.
Yeah.
And official accounts are changing actual factual information to lies. And so our job as healthcare workers has gotten even harder. So how do we combat that? And so we're going to be talking about that. And I'm all about solutions. So we're not just going to be complaining about it. We're going to say, all right, great, here are the problems. Now let's talk about how we fix it. And that's what we're going to be doing.
I just got an idea because I will tell you there's an app called AYSA, AYSA, that saved me. So I woke up one morning after I had breast reduction surgery. I was a 34 K cup, and I'm very happy now. Oh, yeah. Did you know that was a K? It was a K cup. Yes.
Wow.
I am a very happy D
I thought
cup.
that's how you made coffee.
I know. I was just saying. But I woke up one morning about a few weeks after my surgery, and it was so funny because my doctor didn't ask me if I had been vaccinated or they didn't recommend it. I'm over 50. I woke up and my foot hurt, and I was like, I just went to work, and I was looking at my foot while I was at work, and I was like, well, that's a weird little bump. So I took a picture of it, and one of the things that came up on this app was that it might be shingles, and I went to the hospital. I went to the doctor's office right away, and which is crucial because you have a certain window of time, right? So my point being, there are some things that can be very helpful when it comes to using, AI tools or using apps and social media, right?
Absolutely. And that's part of the reason why we're trying, a lot of doctors are actually building out things like that, where we're trying to figure out how do we get accurate information to people? Because we know, my own daughter does it. She's got a rash. She'll take a picture and put it online and be like, what is this? And Google it. So we need to find ways to make sure that people are getting the right information, which is the scientific information. So we're all about trying to figure out how do we, and with the rise of AI now, where AI is taking over everything, how do we incorporate AI into these conversations? How do we guide our patients? It used to be Dr. Google. Now it's ChatGPT and Claude and Gemini. So how do we help our patients when they go home and they're scared and they're Googling or plotting or chatting things at night? How do we help them navigate as well?
Yes, please. Well, because I never told you this because Dr. Tynes has seen my mom, has treated her before. And my mom, one day, she goes, Patricia, my mom's from Mexico. She goes, Patricia, I wasn't feeling well last night, and I Googled my symptoms, and it said I might have a stroke. But I thought, I have too many dishes to do in the morning. So I was like, what? I'm going to need you to, please don't do that again. If you feel like you might be having a stroke, it is okay to call me. I'm here. Yeah. So, there are things that you also don't want to freak yourself out, but at the same time, if you are feeling
a lot of that. Yeah.
Yes.
People come in and they've diagnosed themselves with something terminal or something really horrendous. And I look at them and I go, nope, that's not what you have. Sorry. It's okay.
Yeah. And there's some things that, like, know your body, I think, is probably one of the most important things, no matter what stage of life you're in. Don't you think?
Yeah. Absolutely. And know how to advocate for yourself, because you may show up and somebody may not believe you, but if you know there's something wrong, then you advocate for yourself in that moment.
Yep. And you also have a summit coming up, Women in Medicine, and I think I lost the other part, but September 24th through the 26th, a Women in Medicine Summit. And
yes, so we do. And it's at the Drake Hotel, downtown Chicago. And on Friday night of the summit, we have an Empower Her Med Gala. So if you don't want to come to the conference, but you want to come party with us at the gala, there's tickets for that as well. So we'd love to see you there.
Excellent. And all the information is available at wimedicine.org. That's wimedicine.org. We've been talking to Dr. Shikha Jain, Associate Professor and Board Certified Hematology and Oncology Physician. Off the air, I told her I'm going to try to cut back on my drinking, as we all should be aware of that. No level is safe. So I know that it comes hard when we're going through fascism. So be mindful as to why you might be having that next drink.
It is a carcinogen, so one more reason. And it has a lot of empty calories.
Yep.
Lots of good reasons to avoid. And it's toxic to your liver. And
and it can cause cancer. But I will say anything in moderation. There's no recommendations for alcohol, so I would never recommend someone drink, but I'm never going to tell anybody you cannot have a glass of wine like at a party or at Christmas or New Year's once in a while. So once in a while is fine. Just don't make it a daily habit.
Okay, well, I have to make some changes. Thank you, Doc. I really appreciate your time, your insight, your expertise as always. We look forward to having you in the studio or whatever your schedule allows. And I wish you the very best tonight. Have a great evening. Oh, I didn't even. It's summertime for the kids, and they're almost going back to school. So I know it's very hectic for you. So thank you for your time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We'll talk to you again soon. Let's take a break here. We've got Bill from Olive's Community Garden coming in just a moment. I just dropped some stuff in my studio. More in a moment with Dr. Kathy Tynas and Bill on WCPT 820, KKNW 1150, and KTNF AM 950. And everyone tuning in digitally. We appreciate all of you.
Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT 820, where facts matter.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or
and Pete.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our drive home. Joining me in studio is Dr. Kathy Tynas. She's the Director of Education, and she's an adult internal medicine doctor at Alivio Medical Center. You can go to alivio.org and find out about all their locations in the Chicagoland area because they provide services and support no matter your ability to pay that. And we appreciate that. And I told her to expect someone who's very passionate about gardening and the community. Bill from Olive's Community Garden joins us. Bill, I'm sorry it took me so long to have you back because I feel like too much time has passed with like how the crops are doing. Tomatoes, you brought me 2 eggplants. This looks amazing. So how is the gardening going in the season?
Well, absolutely fabulous. This is the perfect time to come back. So
excellent.
Yeah, I forgot the last time I was here, but since we've talked, obviously we've had, because unlike most normal people, I am not on social media. So obviously everybody goes to Olive's Neighborhood Garden for the Hungries Facebook page, since everybody I know follows it. So you've been noticing that since May 1st, we've been having weekly harvest of radishes and beets. So we've gone through 6,000 radish seeds and 4,000 beet seeds already. Today I planted another 1,000 radish and 200 beets. And then around June, because I told everybody, please go to Greenhouse Farms. Thank you, Greenhouse Farms. 48 plants, $20. So I tell people, I know you tried during February, you go try to grow your own plants and you put the fan and you got the house hot and you do all this work to grow these beautiful plants and they just kind of like on you and you get discouraged. Please don't get discouraged. Just go to Greenhouse Farms, spend $20, buy a whole tray. You can mix and match. Still try to grow them at home, but don't get discouraged. It's a fabulous deal. So I'm trying to feed as many people per week as possible. So I tell people what I'm growing is not necessarily what I would grow if it was my personal garden. So right off the bat, I grow 80% of everything in the garden is tropical. It does not belong in Chicago. So we started out with 48 eggplants. We have 48 banana plants. We have 48 Melrose plants. And Melrose, from the Melrose suburb of Illinois, is actually a green pepper plant, but it looks like a sweet banana plant, so it's longer. The reason why we're doing, say, the sweet banana and green pepper plants, full of vitamins, and unlike most plants, green pepper plant or pepper plant in general lasts about 12 years. They don't know. Yeah, they don't know they're going to die in November. So they start out, when people struggle, they figure, I get this pepper plant, and within 2 months, it's only yo high. And so right away, first thing's going to happen to you, the pepper plant's going to give you a premature pepper. Pick the peppers right away. Let the energy go to the plant. The more you pick a pepper plant, the more it will grow. Unlike most vegetables, we call it veal vegetables. So the pepper plant, no matter what size is still edible. It's still full of vitamins. So I can give you a sweet banana pepper that's little or giant. So I'm not trying to grow to get optimal money at a supermarket. I'm trying to feed per week through food pantries. So at the beginning of the year, in the ground, we put our radishes, our beets, and our bok choy. So Andrew at 5150, please everybody support 5150. I'm sorry, that's the address. It's a community church on the first floor. They do a CPS morning program to feed, and they do a Thursday feeding program, 200 people. Fantastic. I think everybody should eat. I'm kind of strange like that. If it's possible.
It's like healthcare. It's like healthcare and food should be. You're right.
And then,
exactly.
It's perfect. It's perfect. I was listening before, strange guy that I was, and my famous saying is, if you eat like a rabbit, you look like a rabbit. Eat like a pig, look like a pig. It's that simple in life. So already I gave Andrew about 30 heads of bok choy so he can feed people. My first zucchini was about my size of my leg. If you go on Facebook, they're about, I try to grow about 27 to 28 inches big, so you can take 2 cups of ground and make a loaf of bread, and you can still feed the family. So I gave him 6 of those to make bread. So my concept is to try to grow as much as I can, as fast as I can, to feed as much as I can. So I go to the food pantry at St. Elizabeth on Tuesdays. I feel it's one of the better ones. They give you a shopping cart, you pick your own. And so they have about 40 families, but they don't tell me how many per family. I also go Saturday food pantry. They have 47 families. They don't tell me it's 1 or 10. So we can get a milk crate of both peppers, and I can get about 25 eggplants per harvest twice a week. So if you take a milk crate of peppers and you get those tins you use for a turkey, it fills 2 of those tins. So 2 of those tins of 2 types of pepper, then the eggplants. So this year, we also, under the green beans, we have asparagus green beans. They grow up to 24 inches long.
Wow.
So they're easy to pick. And under each structure, we planted 2,000 carrot seeds. So out of the 4,000 carrot seeds, it gave us 6 harvests of carrots. So that worked out well. The tomato plants are in. They're doing fabulous. Our cucumbers and zucchini are kind of burning out from the heat. So the next stage people are going to be running into, they say, Mr. Bill, I put my eggplants in, and it looks like someone took a shotgun to the leaf, and it's all these little potholes. Just like I said the first time I was in the on the radio show, it's called Neiman oil. You could use baking soda, Dawn soap, vinegar, and water, but the Neiman oil is from the Neiman tree, and I started spraying the spray to keep the cucumber beetles, flea beetles, and the aphids under control. We had a good winter, so we didn't have a lot of snow cover, so the ground froze. That's why I rototilled the garden at the end of November to try to get the eggs of the bugs that set low up. If I was a real farmer in February, I would also rototill. Because your best way of prevention of controlling your insects without using chemicals is let nature kill them. So if you bring the beetle eggs that are sitting low up, you can kill them with the frost. There's also, people talk about rototilling the ground that brings up oxygen and fungus and all that. I don't worry about that. I'm more concerned with trying to stay organic, kill the bugs. I just rototill it, at least once a year, especially in the fall. That's why we prefer in Chicago, we get no snow, and we need like 3 super months of 0. Sorry, people. I'm a winter guy. I wear shorts year round. So, yeah, we need to kill everything. Like, I have a house in Wisconsin. We want the ticks dead. We want the bugs dead. We want the beetles dead. I'm sorry. The snow is good for the farmers up north. I prefer drought. I'm trying to save the billionaires' homes on Lake Michigan from land erosion. So I'm trying to suck all the water out of Lake Michigan because, like the storm we just had, my pepper plants kind of are pliable. They fell over. But out of my 48 eggplants, I had about 20 where the branches physically broke from the force of the storm. So because I can water, because thank God for Lori Lightfoot. If Lori, you're listening, one of the few things Lori did for people like me, we have to pay for water. So I have to put in paperwork. Up to Lori, they would charge us up to $2,000 a year for water.
Wow.
Wow! My whole budget's. I mean, I have a shoestring budget. I don't have a shoestring. Oh, thank you. So Lori, God bless her soul, she changed that to $150 a year.
Oh.
Yes. Thank
For
you.
nonprofits?
Yes, for guys like me.
Yay.
Yay.
Wow.
Yes. Oh, phew.
How many acres do you have?
I have 4,600 square feet.
4,600 square feet.
Yes.
It's right. So do you know it's right? It's
I'm at
Ainsley.
Ainsley and Laramie, behind the Jefferson Park Terminal.
Oh, sure.
Right over
I
the-
know where that is.
right over
Yeah,
the
that
overpass.
corner.
Oh,
That's me. Hi, I'm the 10-foot tall
Hi.
tomato guy.
Wow.
And then if you come by the flagpole this year, we have 7 types of basil. I have a red Reuben. Oh my God. I have an apostle basil. There's like a bush that just crumbles when you got to come by the garden. So we have a red Reuben, an Thai, a cinnamon, a long leaf, a sweet Italian, and the apostle basil. And that give bags and scissors. So, okay, let me back up for a minute. Because we give all our food to a food pantry and the community supports us, thank you, community, we provide at the flagpole an herb garden. So there's rosemary, onion, and garlic chives. There's thyme, oregano, parsley, 3 types of sage. Then we plus all the basils. Then we provide bags and the scissors. So when you need your daily pinch, you come and you take a little pinch, and that way the garden give on a daily basis back to the community for a pinch of herbs. So
Lovely.
It's lovely. It's fantastic. Thank you. And outside the fence, I had 20. Okay, so I really don't give jalapeno peppers to the food pantry. And it's not because I'm ignorant, but poor Johnny's dad, who loves jalapeno, throws it in the food. And poor Johnny, who's 8 and doesn't like spicy food, I'm not going to do that to Johnny. If Dad wants to ruin Johnny's taste buds, let him take his own, go to the store and buy his own jalapenos. But I have them out there for the people. I don't really care. But someone, like last year, someone stole the whole rosemary plant. This year,
Oh my God!
I thank you. That's right. Even though I'm a scientist, I don't believe in that stuff. But remember, trust the science. Don't worry about the narrative. Trust the science. So about, I don't know, a month ago, if you check Facebook, I'm sorry, time's oblivious. When you're retired, every day is Sunday. It's great. So
I look forward to being retired.
Yeah, someone
Pretty good.
dug up and physically took 2 pepper plants.
Oh.
And I'm like, guys, I weed, I water, I do everything.
That's so
All you gotta do
selfish.
is pick the damn pepper. I don't care. They take 2. I just laugh. I just physically, I think people are that stupid. Yes, go ahead.
I need someone to remove this review. So his reviews are 4.6 for Olive's Garden for the Hungry. Someone wrote, I thought this was an Olive Garden restaurant. Well, you don't have to leave a review of
Well,
that.
that's okay. Come on by. I can't give you breadsticks because I don't eat carbs. Like, it's one of the 3 foods I don't. I don't eat olives, cold pizza, or other men. I look at pizza as a complete disaster of health. I mean, if you want to just be a pig in life, eat pizza.
Well, you eat eggplants. You know what that's supposed to mean.
Well, hey, I'm Italian. My mom's from Bari, and we know the old egg. I can't even say it on radio because I want to get in trouble with the FCC. But
We're going to talk about Iceland in a moment, apparently.
Well, we're playing with eggplant right now.
Lady B, did you see these?
They look like a bowling ball.
Look at
Those
this.
are supposed to be black beauties, but apparently my compost that I get from Midwest Organics and McHenry, they must go to Zion Nuclear Plant because I'm telling you, it doesn't glow at night. But I'm getting 20 to 25 of those per week to 2 different food pantries.
That is beautiful.
It is beautiful.
And I've been getting, of course, the whole month of July. I've been this. You'd have to get the Facebook to find out when the fruit came in. But I want to say mid-June. I've been doing it all. So yeah, it works out. And then like the Jefferson Park Congregational Church. Thank you guys. They showed up and weeded. I have this thing called Purslane at Whole Foods. It's $4.99 a pound. It's this omega food. It's all these letters next to it. To me, it's a scourge. It's a weed. Please come and pick it. I got tons of it. But they came and they picked it for me. Thank you. So going back to the garden, I got off track, of course.
I'm gonna let you get on track while I take a quick break. We'll come back and continue our conversation. Sound
Okay.
good? I guess someone's got to pay for this conversation.
Oh, no, thank you.
Thank you so much. It's Bill from Olive's Community Garden. It's also Olive's Garden for the Hungry. You can go to the YouTube page. There's also a Facebook page. The Eden United Church of Christ also has information on their website because he works with a lot of organizations in the area. He mentioned St. Elizabeth. I believe it's St. Elizabeth of the Trinity over here here on Ardmore, and they also have a food pantry. They need volunteers. They need shoppers.
And food.
They need food
They're
and
not
volunteers.
part of the Chicago dispensary thing, so they're always dying for help.
Yeah, so
please, thank you.
They're definitely looking for non-perishable items to be left in the back of the church during open hours or in the shed next to the gym entrance, which is available 24/7. So go to StElizabethTrinity.org for the information about their food pantry that Bill also helps provide.
It's the old St. Tars.
It's the old St. Tars. It's St. Tarcissus. Yeah, it's the old St. Tars. It's St. Elizabeth now. I voted on that.
I recognize that.
voted
Yes.
for
Yes, I'm sorry.
Dr.
St.
Kathy
Tars.
Tynas in studio with us, my guest co-host. We'll continue our conversation when we come back. If you have a question for Bill about gardening, we can probably take at least one or two calls, unless Dr. Tynas and I or Lady B has a question. We also want to find out about your trip, if we can, about going to Iceland.
Have a great time.
More after this on WCPT and KKNW and KTNF.
Because facts matter. You're listening to WCPT 820.
Detours, no distractions. Just bold ideas and real talk. This is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us as we continue our drive home. Bill, as you can tell from Olive's Community Garden, is very passionate about the work that he does, and I could have had an off-air show as well.
Yes.
Bill we were talking about soil, and you were talking about raised garden beds, but I also want to ask you about people who do container gardening.
Yes. I have books on it at the garden. Come see me. Container garden is great. I tell people for bang for the buck, and the easiest thing would be to plant garlic. Garlic is farming for idiots. You put it in the ground, you stir it like an idiot, and it grows all by itself. And you don't have to worry about the height taking over. And everybody loves garlic, and it's easy to grow. You just stick it in the corner, and it's perfect. When you do go containers, you got to watch out. Tomatoes are either indeterminate or determinate. Indeterminate tomatoes, like I grow, are 10, as long as I cage them, will grow. Determined tomatoes are short and fat and lazy like me. That's why they use the word patio. If you ever see the word patio on plants, that means it's a good old American, short, fat, and lazy, not the European kind that run and lean and mean. No. So, yes, containers is good. I tell people just do simple things like garlic. Like you grow a tomato plant, it gets out of hand, it's huge. You get 10 tomatoes, big deal. Well, I get garlic. I can put 40 heads in there, and I got garlic for the whole 5 months. So
Nice.
I planted sweet potatoes, and I don't really know what to do now.
If you're going to do potatoes, stack them. A potato plant in a bucket, you put down one layer with sand, and as it puts the potatoes down, throw more sand, the plant will pop up, you do another layer. If you do potatoes correctly, you get 4 layers per potatoes per plant. So it's a lot of work, but that's the way to do it, because you don't want a one harvest crop per year to take all that time up. So if you're going to do container potatoes, do YouTube University or Google College, because I'm a 3rd grade dropout, but I believe in science. Take the bucket, and you get up to 4 layers of potatoes. So going back to the garden, so people having issues. If you don't have a dog in your yard, take the grass clippings, spread it around your plants. If the grass clippings are on top of the open ground, you won't get any weeds. Like personally, when the grass breaks down, it leaves nitrogen sulfates. As you can tell, I'm a hyper person. I've never had a good cup of coffee, so I don't drink coffee. But normal people apparently get tired. They drink coffee. Take your grounds. Now, don't give 40 pounds in your garden. Sprinkle coffee grounds in your garden as well. But the coffee grounds break down, they leave, again, nitrogen, sulfates, phosphates, all those science words that I don't know about, but it helps. Don't worry about composting. Composting could be very dangerous if you have a fungus on your plant and you decide to compost, you just keep in the fungus. If you're going to do something silly like cut up banana peels, bury it. Don't let the flies or the bugs or the animals get it. If you're going to use eggshells, like if you're doing green peppers and you're getting a brown spot, it tends to be lack of calcium. An eggshell does not break down. It's designed to stay whole. If you want to get the calcium out of an eggshell, you have to cook the eggshell. It's kind of like putting vitamin D in milk to get the calcium out of it. Straight milk, you can't get calcium unless you put vitamin D in it. So an eggshell is designed not to break down the whole chick. So that's why compost has to heat the soil up to 180 degrees to kill and bake the ground. That's why compost is a whole other science. Again, after you spray neem oil in the beginning of the year to control all your pests, now what's going to happen in August is drought. Thank God for drought, because I can water. I didn't hate the storms. But your birds and the delicious squirrels are going to come. Your water bottles or tomatoes. When you find the tomato on your deck with a hole in it. He's not mocking you. He's using the deck as a table. He's got better hands than me. Drinks the water out of the tomato and leaves it behind. So what's going to happen is if you introduce water to feed the squirrels, you're going to feed birds, rats, and everything else. You don't want to introduce that either. Birds will come and they will peck the tomato as well to get water out of it. So what I tell people, go get conduit. It's cheap. Build yourself a cage around a tomato plant. Go get the netting. They sell netting for plants, and you build a netting net around your tomatoes, hopefully a high wall, and that way you keep the birds and squirrels out. Please don't let your animals come to your garden. Don't grow what the animals want to eat. Animals hate peppers. My pepper plants are all exposed to the animals and nothing touches them. Trust me, the only thing in my garden an animal wants to eat is the tomato for the water.
I have a question.
Yes.
What are you doing wrong if your tomatoes start to split even before they turn red?
Water. You're not giving the tomato enough water, so what's happening is your tomato will get black on the bottom or start splitting, but it needs water to grow. A tomato plant is nothing but a huge water bomb. Remember, if it has a flower or seed, it's a fruit. Fruit's nothing but water. Water. So I watered 3 hours a day. I watered Monday night 3 hours, and it's still stormed. I watered yesterday and I watered today. Come look at my garden. It's huge and healthy. My soil lets the water run through. But remember, water for a tomato plant is critical as well as sun. So if you starve it not thinking, well, I've watered yesterday. No. You water an hour, it goes down a quarter of an inch. I have an irrigation system built in where I just water the roots. 80% plants want root watering. Broccoli is a good example. I grow broccoli. The water hits the top of the broccoli. All of a sudden, it starts to pre-flower because I'm getting moisture on top of the broccoli. Broccoli, you have to cover and water from the root to control the moisture to get a nice head. So all kinds of crazy stuff like that.
Bill,
wow.
Bill
I'm taking notes.
I know. This is amazing. I'm looking at
I'm trying to talk fast, get a lot in. I'm sorry.
It's Bill from Olive's.
Come by and see me.
Yes, absolutely. It's Olive's Neighborhood Garden for the Hungry.
Yes.
And folks can find all the information on Facebook.
Yes.
And the location is
5201 North Ainsley. Come on by. I love help. You can't buy the shirt. I'm wearing a shirt that says I've picked weeds at Olive's. You cannot buy this. This is the greatest shirt in the world. You can only earn this shirt.
And you can also support the work that he does, which is providing produce to local food pantries by going to the GoFundMe. You can also email olivesgarden606@gmail.com. And Tanya, when are you leaving for Iceland?
On the 8th.
On the 8th, so
Be
we'll
careful.
See. Oh,
thank you.
Do you have a quick story for us?
We're going for the solar eclipse, which is on the 12th, which is my husband and I our 9th wedding anniversary. But we've been there many times before, and on our second trip there, we went to the Phallological Museum, which is
the Phallological Museum, which would be a museum of phalluses, phalli.
Right.
What is the plural of
I think
penis?
Phalluses.
Peni?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love watching women talk about it.
Which is really actually, it's very scientific. They have specimens of all the species, okay? And it's, they teach you something about each species and their mating and et cetera, et cetera. So you get to the human section, and to us, it seemed rather anemic. There wasn't a lot there, right?
Well, is that why RFK picked up the raccoon?
Exactly.
So, ethically, they can't really display human penises, So as we were heading out, we stopped in the gift shop, and, the man behind the counter asked us what we thought. And we said, listen, it's great. We loved it. It was so educational. But, we think that your collection could use a specimen from Cynthia Plastercaster.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes. Who happened to be a friend of ours. And we said, have you heard of her? Oh, of course we have. Oh my goodness. Well, if we could secure, a specimen, a piece for you, would you display it? Oh, absolutely. So, and poor Cynthia at the time was very, very sick. She was in a nursing home. She was dying. And so when we came back home, we went to go see her, and we asked her if she would donate a specimen, and she cried. She said, that would be my legacy. To have my piece in a place like that where it be taken seriously.
What you did.
And so now there is a display and our names are on it.
Oh my!
Send us a picture.
And my husband and I are lifetime members
because of your penis.
No pun intended. Of the Phallological Museum, so we get free entry whenever we go to Iceland. We know the owners now; they're friends of ours, and so we're taking all of our friends to go to the museum, and we're going to go watch the eclipse.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Lady B, for indulging our story. Have a great night, everybody. Love you all.